Hi guys, welcome. Dania here from the Magic Junk Drawer. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about the law of attraction, and I have to be honest, I struggle with this very much, so I don't want you guys to think I'm some kind of a pro here, because I have my moments. Believe me, I have my moments. But some things that I've just noticed over the last few weeks, I've really been trying to work with the law of attraction myself and watching videos from people that are much more experienced on YouTube. And one thing that I noticed that happened to me the other day, well, what I think is one of the biggest issues is the commitment. Now, let me explain what I mean. We had a big snowstorm here on Wednesday. Thursday morning, I had class. I teach yoga. The first class was in one studio. The second class was in another studio. Manager of the first studio texted me that the 6:15 a.m. class was canceled, yada yada. Okay, thanks, whatever. Now, the next class I had is at 9:30, and these studios are both about a half hour away from where I live. So when the manager from that studio texted me, she said, we're planning on canceling the first two classes. The 9:30 class we want to keep on. Let me know in the morning by 7:30 if you have any issues getting in, because so-and-so said that she would cover for you. Let's just say her name was Mary. Mary said she would cover for you. Okay. So then I got a message from one of the teachers that I work with, and she was asking me to cover her class because her kids had a delay. But I couldn't do it because I was already teaching at that time. 10 minutes later, she sends me a text message saying, oh, don't worry because Mary's covering it for me. So now right there, I'm like, shit, Mary was going to cover for me if I couldn't get there. Now what? Now I don't have a backup, what am I going to do? So at this point, it's like 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm outside and I'm like, it really doesn't look that bad. I don't want to lose the class. If it's one thing about me, if I can get to work, I get to work. I'm not looking to get the day off unless it's something that, like, where it's dangerous or it's, like the roads are really bad. Then I don't want to go in. But, the roads were clear by me. So 7:30 the next morning came. And meanwhile, all night I was kind of back and forth with myself thinking, I have to get on the highway and I don't know what it's like over in that area. And what if I have trouble getting there? I was kind of back and forth with, yeah, I think I'll be fine, and you know what, maybe I should just see if I can get the class covered. So I really didn't commit to anything. I was just kind of like, all right, well, we'll wait and see. So I get up the next morning, and the roads are totally clear. I go outside, I shovel my car out in like 2 minutes. Like, it had warmed up, it was no big deal. At all. So I text the manager, and I'm like, I'm going in, there's, it's fine here. So I have to take three highways really. First highway, totally fine. I get off the first highway to get onto the second highway, and that highway is closed. So I'm like, oh, damn. I always leave really early because I have a thing about being late. I don't like being late. I don't like rushing. So I'm like, okay, I set the GPS, and it took me down like a side, like a, not a major highway, but it took me a different way. And then it was taking me, the road that I figured I would take, it took me past. So I'm like, oh, well, if I can't get off there must be something going on. It took me like 7 miles, I guess it's south, it must have been south, 7 miles south out of my way. And then the side street that it took me off, or the exit it took me off, took me to a road that hadn't been plowed yet and was closed. The cops were there. And they had like the horses, and it says road closed. So I went to turn around and go back the way I came, and the GPS kept turning me around. Like, it didn't know that the road was closed. So it was just trying to bring me back to the same place. So since I'm not real familiar with that area, and I was really like, I had like 10 minutes to get there, I was afraid that I wasn't going to make it. So I called the manager and I said, listen, I'm stuck here. I don't really know where I am. and I don't think I'm going to be able to get there in 10 minutes. So somebody else who was a teacher was planning on taking the class, and she had offered to cover it if I couldn't get there. And she too was having a hard time getting there. So anyway, so long story short, I figured out where I was. I was able to program myself to get back home. And basically what I did that morning was I drove around for an hour and a half. So what did I attract to me? I attracted to me the worst case of the scenarios, right? Because had I made the decision to give the class up and give it to Mary from the get-go, the class would have been covered. I wouldn't have been driving around. I would have been home. Not that I was in danger. I wasn't. The roads were fine. It wasn't anything like that. It was just a mere inconvenience. And I didn't get paid for it anyway because I didn't go. So I lost the class. I drove there. It was like the worst possible scenario, and I feel like this was because I didn't commit to either. It was, I don't want to lose the class, but what if I can't get there? It was like nothing was, I'm getting in the car and I'm going. Like there was so much indecision about the whole thing, like from the beginning to end. It's kind of a stupid story, but it makes sense when you think about the law of attraction. What I was attracting. I attracted somebody willing to cover the class because I don't like to drive in bad weather. I attracted the way out because I was told she'll cover for you if you want her to. But then I was like, well, I really don't like to give up classes if I don't have to. So it was kind of like there was so much indecision. I didn't commit to anything, and the worst case scenario happened. So think about that sometimes. If you're committing to something, commit to it. And, obviously sometimes things are out of our control. I mean, it was out of my control that the highway was closed. It was closed for de-icing. Meanwhile, I'm like, it's 40 degrees out. What the hell? What are they de-icing? But anyway, so the point is that if you take a situation like that, and if it's true that we are constantly creating everything, and we're calling in these situations to us, then I called in that crazy situation because I wasn't clear on what it was that I wanted. So just it's, a lesson to be learned. Yeah. All right, that's my 2 cents. Okay, if you like what we're doing here at the Magic Junk Drawer, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.